A lot of traders in the forex market have this belief that anytime there is a global crisis, the prices of gold and most assets in the forex market are supposed to be rising, especially gold. But they don't understand that with gold and some type of crisis, it is different, especially when it comes to Iran and USA thing. Okay, because if you retrace back, check history, you will notice that anytime Iran and USA involved in a crisis, you notice that the price of gold doesn't really go up, prices fall instead. So most people don't know this. Most people don't know this. That is why they are expecting gold prices to be rising continuously, just like it happened previously, sometime from December last year, when it was only Israel and other countries like Gaza and the rest, when they were having a crisis. You can see that during that time, the prices of gold were actually rising continuously, coupled with a lot of other incidents happening around the world back then. Okay, but right now it is Iran, USA, and Israel. So things are different right now. So that's why you see that the prices of gold are continuously falling instead of rising. So I keep telling people, you need to understand more about fundamental analysis and also technical analysis. Although to me, technical analysis is the most important, but then you need to understand something about fundamental analysis for you to be able to trade the forex market comfortably. Okay, because if you don't understand anything about fundamental analysis right now, you don't know what is happening in the market, and if you are a gold trader, you'll be focusing on buying gold. Mostly you'll be focusing on buying gold. Meanwhile, what you should be looking at is opportunities to sell gold, because I can see that history is repeating itself. uh, Looking at the chart, you can see that gold prices has been falling continuously since the beginning of the war. They have not been rising. So I believe that history will still repeat itself. It will still be like the last time when they had crisis. So fundamental analysis is not useless. Fundamental analysis is very, very important in the forex market. And as a forex trader, you need to be aware of these things so you don't really go on guessing or expecting prices to follow the pattern which you want them to follow. What I'm trying to say is that if history is going to repeat itself, it is very, very possible that the prices of gold will go below 4,000. Maybe gold will trade around 3,000 or even 2,900 if history is going to repeat itself. You can see that the market started rising sometime last year, since October. The market has been rising since then until the beginning of this year when the war started. Okay, so if history is going to repeat itself, gold prices are going to trade below 4,000, and possibly they might even go as low as 2,900. So what am I saying? Understanding fundamental analysis in the forex market is very important, and it is crucial. So especially to beginners, they believe that anytime prices fall or anytime prices rise, like they believe that it has to be a limit for prices to rise and then start falling, and they believe that there has to be a limit for prices to fall and then continue rising up. But it doesn't really work like that. It doesn't really work like that. The market can decide to go one direction in a long period of time. It can last up to months, sometimes a year or even more. It depends on what is happening around the world at the time. So expecting that the prices of gold will bounce back because they have been falling for over 2 weeks now is the wrong way to look at it. You need to look at the bigger picture. You need to look at what is happening around the world. um, do your analysis based on that. So trading the market right now, you need to be smart about it. You can see that the market is moving in wide ranges. Before you know it, you are seeing prices moving more than 1,000 pips within a minute. So it's crazy. So when you start looking at it the wrong way, expecting prices to rise because they have fallen too much or they are continuously falling and it is time for them to rise, you are looking at it the wrong way. Because if you can see, if you can remember, since October last year, 2025, prices of gold started rising sometime um, around October, okay, around October last year, and they didn't really retrace back. They continue rising month after month, month after month, until the beginning of this crisis between Iran, US, and Israel. That's when prices actually started falling. Otherwise, I believe that the prices of gold would have continued rising until maybe a very, very high price, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 before a reasonable retracement. So understanding fundamental analysis in the market is very important, and you need to take note of it.